Okay, that's alright. Sorry, this probably isn't very flattering. Browser settings, audio. Yes, okay. I think the sound now. Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you very much, Steve. Hey, Joe. Is the quality of the sound okay? Ooh. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you very much, Steve. Cool. So, I've had a rest day yesterday because I really burnt myself out on the climbing race on Tuesday morning. Thanks, Steve. Much appreciated. Cheers, Joe. I've been a bit tight in the chest and I've had a bit of a tickly cough, but I think I'm all right. So this first stage of the Giro di Castelli is the TT stage in Bologna. I'm not sure if they have the draft on or off, given it's a TT stage. One would expect them to have it off. But the course is basically 2 laps of the TT stage, and it includes a really brutal climb that I reckon will take me about 8 minutes. And so my objective really is not to burn myself out on the flats, kind of maintain 4 to 4.2 watts a kilogram, hopefully, and then invest much more heavily on the climb, where I'm hoping for like an average power, I guess of something like 300 to 320. 320 is very aspirational. So now I should actually head to the start pen, which means I have to get off the bike. I have to avoid upsetting this delicate little technology ecosystem where at the drop of a finger my heart rate stops working in terms of the monitor, or I could impair the sound quality. It's all very fragile at the moment. My warm-up has been okay, not exactly textbook. Alrighty, let's get rid of that. Let's have the live chat. Okay, it looks like we're being set off individually. Hopefully I haven't got to wait 15 seconds like you do in a normal Zwift time trial. We're just looking at this start. I don't reckon there'll be draft on. Oh, and everyone's got a red jersey. Nice. Now I've gone for the what's it called? The Tron bike, the one you earn by completing the Everest challenge. I only really won the Tron bike about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And it isn't quite as light as the Trekhead Monda, where I also have the really light wheels attached. But it's more aero. And obviously quite a lot of this TT course is downhill. unlike in the real Giro Italia where it was just through town and then up the hill. And quite a lot of it's actually on a low incline to flat. So I reckon the Tron bike is probably a good one to opt for. But we'll see. Thanks, Joe. Now, I've eaten carbs today ahead of the training. If this was much earlier, I probably wouldn't have. And I ate plenty yesterday as well. Weighing in at 65 kilograms or just a bit below. And for context, when we hit the power parts, my FTP is currently about 286 watts, which is 4.4 watts a kilogram. And that's emotional. It's doing a 20-minute test. As ever, Jane's emails are getting in the way. And tomorrow, Saturday morning at 9 AM, there's a flat stage around Watopia's flat route. So I think I'll definitely be using the light bike for that. Ha! Cheers, Joe. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to fare today. I had a little reconnaissance of the Bologna TT on a Tuesday morning, first thing. And that's why I reckon 4 to 4.2 watts a kilogram on the flat. And somewhere in the range of 4.5 to 5 watts a kilogram on the climb is about doable for 2 climbs. Okay, so about 40 seconds away. This definitely is something where you want to pace yourself to your capabilities and not just try and chase the best. There's some of the indoor specialist team racing here, and they've got, I don't know, as much as 5.5 watts a kilogram on the climb. They recover at 4.5 watts a kilogram. They're insanely fit. Here we go. Just aiming for the 4 watts here. A little bit more. And over the start. Yeah, I reckon there is the draft on. I don't think I'd normally be going this quick for this sort of power. The watt bike calibrates itself, Steve. You basically just plug it in and it's all pre-calibrated. That's why it's so good for someone like me that lacked any knowledge of cycling really pre-August 2018. And then it connects with Zwift really easily on the app to your iPad normally. But here, I'm running an ANT cable through to a PC. And I actually prefer the experience. Yeah, it doesn't look like a TT. I prefer the experience. Certainly on the iPad, it's much easier to give ride-ons and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the pace has been quite high. Cheers, Joe. Legs are feeling quite nice. They won't be in a bit. Just invest a little bit here to get the benefit of the draft. There's another group up front. I'm not going to try and get to them. Yeah, a bit like Track to Neo. I haven't ridden that. Yeah, normally on the TT stages, they start everyone 15 seconds apart. And there's definitely no draft. But I guess there's 350 Cat A's in this. 320, sorry. 700 including the Cat B's. And I think 900 including the ladies. So I don't think they could afford a 15-second delay between everybody. I certainly wouldn't have been able to do it. Yeah. But you can pick up the Wattbike Atoms refurbished at a better price, about 1,600 quid. Which is about, well, it's quite competitive versus buying a separate turbo trainer and obviously a bike frame. And you haven't got to worry about damaging your bike frame. Just plug and play. Ah, that's quite cool to know. Yeah, I think Wattbike feels pretty good as well, but I'm not as experienced on riding on the outside. I'm not a connoisseur, but definitely I found that the power built here on the Wattbike translates to the real world. Yeah, my legs are feeling nice. Nice little bit of respite here. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have called it a TT stage. More a race on the TT stage. Although they say this isn't a race, I think most people will treat it as one. Now I'm going to experiment, see if I can give a ride on to anyone that I'm following. No, I've already done it. No one else has joined. Hey Niels. Oh, there is no draft. Okay, thank you. It just feels quick versus the power. Maybe that's the Tron bike. Thanks for joining, Niels. Hugely appreciated. It's quite a short stage, but basically this is 2 nasty 8-minute efforts. Heart rate's good. When I get north of 180, that's where game over comes quite quickly for me. Oh, need to pamper myself a little bit ahead of the climb. I think there's a petrol station somewhere on the left that signifies things are going to get nasty. Oh, here we go. Can we go around a couple of bends? So the level of concern is now increasing. I think we're now in a shallow bit of the climb. Oh, whoops. Lost concentration there. Yep. Slowing down the cadence a bit. Heart rate's quite high. Nice deep breaths. Actually feel alright, even though the heart rate's high. I now got an enough in the tank for the final ramp at 16% that comes in a bit. Cheers, Mark. Doesn't feel like I got it right now. %, Steve, replicates a 32 cassette on the rear. Come on, Philip. Man up. Legs are feeling good. Good advice, Niels. Can't remember exactly when the next steep it comes. I think it's after the corner. Here we go. Kick. It's hard work. Ha ha ha, 30%. Focusing on the cadence here. This is hard, so I'm not talking. Aero tuck. Oh. Oh. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Oh man. Oh dear. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I find that if the descent is more than really 6 to 8% gradient, I can go faster in the aero tuck, provided I drip feed in a little burst of power. Like I wouldn't be able to go much faster than this pedaling, I don't think. Now for the diesel engine, I'm going to engage 4 watts a kilogram. Can drop a gear here. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I can't have a comment on the physics going downhill because I'm such a poor bike handler in the real world. Thought I just sound like it's driving Miss Daisy. Now I just need to kind of settle in here and gradually the power will drift up. Carbohydrates are in the drink. The carbohydrates are branched chain cyclic dextrin, which are really quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. They're smaller molecules. Just get the heart rate under control. Hey Tony, sorry I didn't see you join. Nice one. I was in a world of suffering. As always, I'm overhauled on the flats and descents, probably for the reasons Niels was saying. Definitely the draft is on. I'd never be going this quick without it. Oh. I'm giving them a try. I used to use the carbs when I was a bodybuilder, the branched cyclic dextrose. It's hard to tell how much of a difference they make. At most 1-2%, if that. Someone else can take a turn in front. Yeah, it's pretty deep. 183 is normally game over in terms of heart rate. Agreed, Niels, that's pretty much 90% of it. Eat healthfully and balanced. Protein, carbs, and probably the lower end of fats, but good fats. And plenty of carbs if you're bike racing. Carbs definitely don't make you fat. Eating too many calories versus what you burn, that's what makes you fat. Yeah, I have the amino acids before the race to prevent muscle breakdown. They're 0 calorie. And then the protein shake after to help repair the damaged muscles. And hopefully they grow back a bit stronger than before the training or the race. It's quite a nice little group here. Yeah, kale really upsets my insides. It's got loads of vitamins and nutrients, so it pretty is a decent thing if you can tolerate it. Now I agree about the superfoods, Niels, but if you eat a diet rich in fruit and vegetables, you'll get a lot of the minerals and vitamins and fibre that you need to stay healthy. To the extent fruit and veg is a superfood, less convinced about avocados and nuts and coconut oil though. Cheers, Joe. Nice to have you back. Yeah, the process, Steve, of hypertrophy, high repairing muscle damage, goes on for as long as 48 hours. But, to be honest, in my experience, I still don't cane the protein. 150 grams a day is more than sufficient to repair muscle damage. Right, I think we're on the homeward lap now, I hope. It's been quite nice to recover there. A lot more people have joined us. The pace has been too slow, really. Yeah, I don't know much about soy, although I do have the edamame with my sushi. Doesn't seem to harm me. But different people can tolerate different foods. Or more accurately, are intolerant to different foods. Yeah, if you eat too much protein, it will still put on, it takes away calories that you could otherwise invest in carbs. And carbs are definitely a very important source of energy for cycling. Maybe if you're a bodybuilder and you're really serious about it, 200 grams of protein or more a day could be justified. Just having to invest a bit here. Yeah, I'm starting to tire now. I've got to leave enough for the climb here. Don't beat yourself up over that, Tony. Get on the bike after. The coffee will also give you plenty of energy for the bike as well, through cortisol and adrenaline. That's why I have the amino acids in coffee and water if I train fasted. Yeah, true, Steve. Confident, I've got to concentrate here now. The moment of reckoning is coming. Just blowing nose to avoid anything too unsightly. Yeah, Jaffa cakes. True, very true. But they're low in fat, good carbs, make you feel good. Eat away, 3 or 4. Everyone's waiting for the hill. Got to bring the heart rate down. Yeah, Jaffa cake, a very English invention. Still available post Brexit, I hope. Okay, not a lot of talking from now. For me, sorry. I'm gonna try and take some momentum, Niels. Heart rate's very high for this part of the, well, to be here. Come on, Philip. Trying to keep the momentum high here, Niels. Hope you appreciate it. Hopefully that was better. Grade me out of 10. Come on, pal. Oh. That was hard. I'll be interested to see what my normalised power is. Oh dear. Still hasn't been updated yet. One second, sorry, I'll talk in 2 secs. Oh dear. I always struggle to operate the mouse. It's my fingers. Oh, where is it? Oh, come on. There we go. Stay here. Oh no, I've got to go to the actual screen, sorry. Alright, stay in here. Yeah, I'm just looking at Zwift Power Kneels. Thanks everybody, I really appreciate the support. I was right on my limit there, as you can see. The heart rate was really... I have finished, haven't I? Yeah. The heart rate was like 183. For a good chunk of that. Thanks, Dean. Wow, that felt good. Yesterday I was pretty ill with, well, not pretty ill, but like I was able to work and all that kind of stuff. I had quite a tight chest, a cough, and I felt dreadful on the Tuesday after the Deepak.Fit Climbers race day, where I went really way too deep in the first half of the first climb on the 4-day KOM at Innsbruck, and completely burnt myself out. And one thing I've definitely learned on these climbing races, you have to race just within yourself, like bubbling over, stroke bubbling under. It's like a very fine equilibrium. And if you do that, you play yourself into the climb, or certainly I do, and that then enables me to push a little bit when needed. Still, there's people stronger than me today. Yes, hey Morton, thanks for joining. Yeah, it's definitely a fun course when it's done. Happy Thanksgiving for yesterday, Morton. Oh, right, let's see if we've got a refreshed Zwift Power stat, because I'm kind of hoping that 265 average is about, 4.1 watts a kilogram for me. But obviously I wasn't really putting any power down on the descent, and at some points in the flat it was all quite pedestrian. But I'm hoping to see a bit more punch, because I reckon because I'm around about, 310 watts on average on the first climb, I reckon, and probably about 290 watts on average on the second climb. And so hopefully it'll show a little bit more punch. Because when you look at my Zwift power stats, basically I turn every race into a TT, because my normalised power is typically maximum 5 or 10 watts different to my actual. Here we go, I came 20th of the Cat A's on Zwift Power, and there was 4 Cat A pluses who came ahead of me in Zwift Power. I think I came about 30th overall on the Zwift Companion. But looking at my stats, oh, it hasn't given me the normalised. How irritating. I've still got to wait for them. Let me go into my name and see. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the reverse climb on Innsbruck. Yeah, that's the one I did my real life comparison of Zwift versus real life. And the reverse KOM is nasty on Zwift, but it's even way worse in real life, because you're on the outside of the road rather than the inside. So obviously going a little bit further because it's predominantly right-hand bend. You've got a T-junction at the top of the climb, which you don't have on Zwift, so you've got to kind of lose momentum and look right and left for oncoming traffic. But just generally, it's a harder climb, and you've got these big lorries kind of coming up by the side of you and buses behind you. It's all quite intimidating. But definitely on Zwift, when you do the Deepak.Fit Climbers Day and the Afterburn course, you start up the reverse KOM, and it's a disgusting way to start a race. But once you kind of got that under your belt, you got a nice descent. I use the aero tuck. You can recover a bit, and then you've got a nice little tourism around Innsbruck and a leg snapper before you hit the forward KOM, and the 4 KM's all right. Oh, so Niels, were you in A+, were you? That's pretty cool. That's like serious power. Right, I'll have another look to see if my normalised is up. Serious power, A+. No, it's still not up. Yeah. You're dead right there, Niels. I've actually got a video coming out probably in early December. It's just in production at the moment, where I actually flew out to Alpe d'Huez for the day. Took a taxi out to the top of the Alp, hired a bike, rode to the bottom, and then did a best efforts up it. I'm not going to spoil the video, but it's way more spectacular in real life. It's stunning, it's beautiful, it's uplifting, it's really, wow. It's made me, I'm going to buy a climbing bike as a result. But definitely, the real world Alp is harder than the virtual Alp de Zwift. Short period of time. Well, that's insane. Are you going to ever get back to A+, Niels? Come on, where's my normalised power? I want to be rewarded here with like at least, I'm looking at, oh come on Philip. I want at least like a 20 watt difference for my normalised. That would give me quite a lot of pleasure. Because Morten, I've seen obviously a lot of your races and you've got a great punch. Put it this way, you wouldn't want to see me in a boxing ring. My punch is shameful. My sprint is even worse. Oh, come on. Maybe I have to actually exit. Oh, you got to end your ride? Oh, Mark, thank you ever so much. I'm now going to end this ride. How do I do that? Yeah. End ride. Just make sure I don't break the thing down. Right. Save and exit. My stats are now on Strava as well. I was a late comer to Strava. That feels really good actually. I feel great after that. I was really dreading it today because you're thinking I'm going to do a live stream and if I muck it all up and just, don't put down decent power, it's just a waste of time for everybody tuning in. But okay. But that was decent for me, I reckon. Oh no, still not. This is like everyone else has got their normalised power. I'm just being discriminated against. Yeah, I think I need to do a lot more of that, Morten. I think definitely I did a lot of 40-20s and my top end power and my ability to surge got a lot better as a result. But I still really struggle to get much above 600 watts. Yeah, type 2 fun. Yeah, well in the gym when I was doing my bodybuilding and the strength work for many years, I was always better at the high rep stuff than the really low strength work. So I kind of know that I'm a bit slow twitch dominant, which is why these kind of time trial efforts suit me better. Like the flat races. Here we go, 274. Disappointing. I was expecting like 285 or something like that. But 274, 9 watts difference. Normalised 265. And, sorry, average power 265, normalised 274. And 274 is only, what, 4.2, 4.3 watts a kilogram. I thought I was way higher than that. 20-minute power was only 4.1 watts a kilogram. That's probably because, you know, a lap of the Bologna course is only really 17 minutes or so. 5-minute power was alright, I think. Let me have a look at that. Was that 5 watts a kilogram? Yeah, 5-minute power, 5 watts a kilogram. 1-minute power, 5.4 watts a kilogram. Yeah, all good. But look, thank you all very much for tuning in. I'm going to be racing tomorrow the flat course on Saturday, 9 a.m. GMT. If anyone wants to ride that course as well, the stage 2 of the Giro di Castelli, it'd be cool. In the meantime, thanks very much for tuning in, and look forward to catching up with you all soon. Definitely we'll be doing some more punchy races. I reckon tomorrow is exactly that, Niels. Cheers. Got to get to work. Oh.